Hey, it's Doug from Rise Above Performance Training. I've been a kettlebell instructor since 2008, and today I'm back with Kettlebell Kings going over the Hardstyle Kettlebell Swing. Now there's two primary styles of kettlebell. One is a hard style or foundational style, and this is more for strength and more kind of like you want to just learn how to do the kettlebell movements. And there's also a competition style, and they're basically used for efficiency, trying to get as many reps as you can for a certain period of time. The swings are different for each one. So if you think running, the kettlebell hardstyle will be more like a sprint, so you're kind of going strong for a short distance, versus kettlebell competition style, which is a little bit more of endurance style. So like the pace will be spread out, and just kind of more efficiency and time so you can get as many reps as you can in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the hardstyle swing. Now we went over the deadlift before, and the deadlift is a hip hinge pattern. So now we're going to take that hip hinge pattern and make it dynamic. So in case you didn't see that video, the hip hinge is not a squat. It's literally as if someone's pushing my hips back. I kind of alluded to a broad jump, and that's what our swing is going to be. I'm going to line my body up as if I'm going to jump for distance. So I push my hips back, and then I'm going to drive my hips through and come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a proper two-arm kettlebell swing, and then we'll go over the finer details and then also some different variations of the swing that you can do. So I'll go both directions here. So I have my Kettlebell King kettlebell, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up for the swing. I'm going to set up in a triangle. My feet are a little bit wider than my shoulders. You can turn your toes out a little bit too. So generally you want to find the spot where you can get enough power, enough stability. Obviously too narrow, you're going to have not that much stability, and too wide, you're not going to have enough power to get your hips to finish. So you got to find the right spot for you. Mine's usually my squat distance. Bell's a few feet in front of me. I'm going to grab the bell just on the outside a little bit here so both my hands can fit. Sometimes my pinkies don't get all the way in. I'm going to roll my shoulders down and attach my lat. So what I mean by that is my bicep is connected to my lat here. I don't want too much play. Roll the bell. As you can see, the bell is tilted. That's going to allow me to sink into my hamstrings a little bit. I want to load my hamstrings. So if you think like a bow and arrow, I want to just get them on tension a little bit. I don't want to be bent over here and not have a lot of tension, throw it through and be floppy. So again, hike through, load my hamstrings. Set it down. I'll do a couple from the side. So again, set up in my triangle. Get a good grip on the bell. Roll my elbows in. Lock my lats down. My head too is neutral. I don't want it up here. I want to kind of pull back, just like in a deadlift, retracted chin. Hike through. And I'm going to set it down. So that is a two-arm swing. We're going to talk about a little bit of finer details with it. So one is, have some decent shoes where they're kind of flat bottom. So these are very flat bottom. They're very close to the ground. Other shoes work well, like Nike Frees and things like that, but they're very cushioned. You're going to slide around. You might not have a good contact with the ground. It's very important to be rooted on this one, because in the hardstyle swing, your feet, your heels are not going to pop up. In the competition style, they can a little bit. So this one, we want to be very rooted in the ground. Secondly, we want to make sure that we have a good grip on the bell. So I'm going to grab my other bell here. When we swing, we want to have a good grip. We don't need a death grip, but we want a good grip. If we have a loose grip, the bell's going to flop. And on the backswing, as you can see, it may flop back here. It might hit me, but also this flop, what it does, it's going to swing the bell and it's going to send me in weird direction. Again, we talked about being rooted. I want to be strong in the ground and have a decent grip so the bell stays right here. It may flop just a little bit with the momentum coming up, but we don't want it so loose that it's riding up here. The other thing is I don't want a death grip where I'm front raising the bell. Everything comes from the hips. So again, going back to the broad jump analogy, I'm going to hinge. I generate power from the floor, drive through my hips, and then that projects the bell. I want to finish my hips. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see, is people don't finish their hips. They stop here, soft bend, knees and hips. What that does, one, it puts a little more pressure on your back, and then two, that sends the bell forward instead of upward. So I'll show you that with the light bell so I don't hurt myself. So if I finish here, as you can see, my shoulders are forward. I'm not finished. If I finish, the bell stays a little bit closer to my body, so it's safer. So we got to make sure we get our hips underneath us and finish. The second most common mistake, and this one takes practice for every kettlebeller, is the timing. So at the top of the swing, the bell will be a little bit light, so you kind of want to let it float. When the bell's coming down, you do not want to hinge right away. If I were to hinge right away, and the brain will probably tell you to do this, your body's going to bend, and the bell will be down here below the knees in the backswing. That puts a lot more pressure on your back, and then you have to scoop it coming back up. What you want to do, wait until you get that lat connection. Again, so now you see how my biceps connect kind of to my chest, rib cage, and then my lats connect. It almost hits me in a bad spot, and then I hike it through at the last second. The bell is going to be up high. My connection to my arm helps propel the bell. Again, too early, no connection, down low on the back, coming in here, tight and in. I'll show you what it looks like with the light bell with kind of improper timing, and I'll show you with better time. So again, I'm going to set up. This is improper timing. As you can see, and then proper timing, I wait. So with the proper timing as well, when you have that connection, it actually helps you move the bell because I'm connected. I have this platform to drive the bell off. So when you move up and wait with the bell, that's going to help you. If you're disconnected, you're going to have to do other things to lift the bell up. Two other minor things. We want the shoulders retracted, nice tall body at the top. So we don't want our shoulders loose out here. Again, we kind of talked about finishing the hips, that's the biggie, but also we don't want to reach out. So again, I'll do it the improper way at the top. So I want to be a little bit retracted. I don't want to lean back to get the bell up. So tall at the top, maybe a little bit like a 7, so the arms a little bit higher than parallel, retracted, and I'm tall, not leaning back to get the bell up. The second thing I don't want to do is have too much of an elbow bend. A slight elbow bend is okay. If you have hyperextensive elbows, bend them a little bit. But what I don't want to do is game the kettlebell by pulling in to get it up. Yes, it's safe, but it's not going to help you move up in weight. So what I mean by that is, if I set up here, lock down, I don't want to pull in too much to get it up. Yeah, I can get it up, but it's not going to help me with other weights. So I'm just going to kind of move here, slide elbow bend at the top, and I want it just out in front of my body. Last thing, the breathing. Hardstyle breathing is 2 breaths during the swing. Much like lifting, we're going to inhale on the backswing, kind of the eccentric, so suck in the air, and exhale on the concentric, the going up or the movement of force. So one more time with the breathing. Some people sniff in air through their nose. So this is the difference between this and the competition style. The competition style, they'll breathe a little bit more, even reverse the patterning. The reason why we do this in hardstyle is we want to pressurize the body for strength. So we want to sniff in a little bit of air, don't leak the air out, and just kind of blow it out with like a crisp kind of motion, just so we maintain a little bit of cavity pressure, a little bit of diaphragm pressure, and we don't get loose and soft. So practice that. It's a lot to work on, but just keep practicing. Once you get that down, then you can do some of the fancy stuff. One of my favorites is the 2-1-1 swing. The reason why I like this, not only it helps with transitions, but also helps to teach the body how to do a proper one-arm swing. And the one arm swing is going to get you to do the cleans, the snatches, and all the fun stuff. So for the 2-arm swing, 2-on-1 swing, we're just going to set up the same way. What I'm going to do though is you'll see in the transition, I'm going to do a 2-arm swing. I'm going to let go of the top. When I let go, I'm going to have a little bit of space here so I can grab again. Then I'll let go on the other side, have space so I can grab again. I'm always going to swing like a 2-arm swing. So when I hike through, I'll finish. Even when I let go, I'm going to treat this like a 2-arm swing. The reason is I don't want to lock this side down and just do a 1-arm and be teed off here and then just kind of be out of position and locked down. I want to be moving free, and that also helps with my transition. So a 2-1-1 swing. Set up in a good 2-arm. Let go at the top. Switch. Back to 1. And down. So again, my goal for this one is to make my 1-arms look like my 2-arms. So the 2-arm might be light in terms of the bell that you're using, but you want the 1-arm not to drop low, not to catch low, not to muscle up. So think about, is my 1-arm crisp like my 2-arm? When you're good with that, you can take the 2-arm away and then go to an alternating swing. So what I'm going to do with that is this is a 1-arm swing. It's just we're going to give the 1-arm a break by switching each rep. I'm going to grab a slight off-center grip so I can grab on the other side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hike through and switch at the top. Bring the hand over, switch. Again, make sure you switch at the top. So when you're practicing your swings, you'll feel the bell float a little bit. That's where you're going to switch. If you switch down here, you have to kind of slam on the brakes and then kind of load your back up. Not great. So when you got that down, then you can go a proper 1-arm swing, which is pretty much the same setup as a 2-arm swing. Grab 1 arm. Now you can kind of grab a little bit more in the center. I still like a slightly off-center grip because what I'm going to do when the bell comes down, I'll get this connection. Sometimes the hand will naturally rotate back the thumb, which is okay. It doesn't need to be flat. Also, it gives you a little bit more clearance past the knees so you don't hit the knees. So here, I'm going to set up like my 2-arm, so I got this arm ready to go. I'm going to hike. If I need to switch, do a couple here. And down. I'll show a couple from the side so you can see once again how my hips and knees lock out everything underneath me. So I'll do 3 on each arm, set up. And then always back swing when you put it down. Don't slam on the brakes, put it down. Back swing, either 2 arms, set it down with a proper deadlift. So there you have it, the Hardstyle Swing. Check out Kettlebell Kings online for more information on their YouTube page and their website. And if you want more information on me, check out the Rise Above Strength channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.